we shall require a substantially new manner of thinking if mankind is to survive. People love chopping wood. In this activity one immediately sees results. The fear of death is the most unjustified of all fears, for there's no risk of accident for someone who's dead. Nothing is more destructive of respect for the government and the law of the land than passing laws that cannot be enforced. The road to perdition has ever been accompanied by lip service to an ideal. There is no logical way to discover these elemental laws. There is only the way of intuition, which is helped by a feeling for the order lying behind the appearance. The release of atomic energy has not created a new problem. It has merely made more urgent the necessity of solving an existing one. The faster you go, the shorter you are. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. There could be no fairer destiny for any physical theory than that it should point the way to a more comprehensive theory in which it lives on as a limiting case. The attempt to combine wisdom and power has only rarely been successful, and then only for a short while. Confusion of goals and perfection of means seems, in my opinion, to characterize our age. It gives me great pleasure indeed to see the stubbornness of an incorrigible nonconformist warmly acclaimed. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge but can never prove how it got there. One may say the eternal mystery of the world is its comprehensibility. You ask me if I keep a notebook to record my great ideas. I've only ever had one. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. Mozart's music is so pure and beautiful that I see it as a reflection of the inner beauty of the universe. I used to go away for weeks in a state of confusion. The grand aim of all science is to cover the greatest number of empirical facts by logical deduction from the smallest number of hypotheses or axioms. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health, or we suffer in soul, or we get fat. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind. I think and think for months and years. 99 times, the conclusion is false. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong, it is character. I am not only a pacifist but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason mastery demands all of a person. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. I do not believe that civilization will be wiped out in a war fought with the atomic bomb. Perhaps 2/3 of the people of the earth will be killed. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. When the solution is simple, God is answering. It should be possible to explain the laws of physics to a barmaid. It is my conviction that killing under the cloak of war is nothing but an act of murder. Love is a better teacher than duty. He who joyfully marches to music in rank and file has already earned my contempt. He has been given a large brain by mistake, since for him the spinal cord would suffice. As far as I'm concerned, I prefer silent vice to ostentatious virtue. I very rarely think in words at all. A thought comes, and I may try to express it in words afterwards. In order to be an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must above all be a sheep oneself. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn one's living in it. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? If people are good only because they fear punishment, and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. If you are out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead, his eyes are closed. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right, a single experiment can prove me wrong. It is strange to be known so universally and yet to be so lonely. Never do anything against your conscience even if the state demands it. In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems, for issues concerning the treatment of people are all the same. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour, and it seems like a minute. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. Politics is for the present, but an equation is for eternity. I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share, it is time to go. I will do it elegantly. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. We still do not know 1,000th of 1% of what nature has revealed to us. Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions that differ from the prejudices of their social environment. Most people are even incapable of forming such opinions. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. Everyone should be respected as an individual, but no one idolized. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best both for the body and the mind. The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. The distinction between the past, present and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Without deep reflection one knows from daily life that one exists for other people. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Only two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. Logic will get you from A to B, imagination will take you everywhere. The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. The only source of knowledge is experience. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy and creative expression in knowledge. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit and a violin, what else does a man need to be happy? Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded the individual.